So before we get started, I must confess, pizza, just like hummus, is one of my favorite foods ever. I don't know about you, but I could seriously eat pizza every single day. The problem is if you order pizza for delivery or takeout, it can get kind of expensive. Plus, hey, you know those pizzas aren't that healthy. And if you buy the pre-made stuff at the store, well, it's just not the same. Today, we're gonna turn that around and make some of the best dang pizzas here at home. We are talking baguette pizzas. Now, the difference between these baguette pizzas and other bread-made pizzas is we're gonna carve out all that soft bread from the inside, what we call here in Spain, la molla. That way you're just left with the outer shell. It's what gives these baguette pizzas that incredible crispy texture on the outside and the inside, all that beautiful melted goodness, folks. These pizzas are so easy to make and they're done in under 30 minutes. The ideal dish for one of those busy weeknights, for a relaxed weekend lunch, for a game day, virtually anything you can imagine. All right, let's begin by making a very simple marinara sauce. I'm gonna grab a small saucepan, heat it with a medium heat, and add in a generous tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil. After heating the olive oil for 2 minutes, I'm going to add in 2 cloves of garlic that I finely minced and mix them around with the extra virgin olive oil. We're only going to go between 30 to 40 seconds. You don't want to overcook that garlic. You want it to be nice and aromatic. And also, if you're using a pre-made pizza sauce, you can totally skip this step of the recipe, but trust me, this very simple pizza sauce is so good and it comes together within minutes. After about 40 seconds, I'm going to add in one 15-ounce can of tomato sauce and season everything with 1 teaspoon of dried oregano, 1 teaspoon of dried parsley, a pinch of sea salt, some freshly cracked black pepper, and a pinch of white sugar to cut the acid from the tomatoes. We'll give this a quick mix, that way all the seasonings are evenly mixed around. And lower the fire to a low heat. While our sauce is simmering, let's move on to the baguettes. I'm going to be using 2 baguettes to make this recipe. I'm going to cut each one into 3 evenly sized pieces. And cut each one in half vertically to end up with a total of 6 pieces of bread from each baguette. Now, using a spoon, I'm going to start carving out the soft bread from the inside of the baguette. You want to leave a border of about ½ inch on each side to ensure that the sauce and the cheese doesn't ooze out. And also, this is the secret here, like I told you earlier, of these baguette pizzas. By doing this pizza is not going to have a bread-like texture. Instead, it's going to be like a thin crust pizza. That way it doesn't have so much of a bread flavor. Once all the pieces of baguette have been carved out, I'm going to transfer them into a baking tray that's lined with parchment paper. And I'm going to evenly divide this simmering marinara sauce into each piece of baguette. Now, the cheeses I'm going to use in these baguette pizzas is some fresh mozzarella. I love fresh mozzarella because it's got an incredible texture and it easily melts. And some freshly shredded manchego cheese. The one that I'm using has been aged for 3 months, so it easily melts, but it still has a beautiful sheep's milk flavor. I'm going to add the fresh mozzarella into each baguette. And sprinkle in the freshly shredded manchego cheese. Make sure that manchego is covering the entire surface of the baguette. All right, let's add some toppings into our baguette pizzas. I'm going to be doing 4 different flavors here, but you can do whatever toppings you like. For the first one, I'm going to sprinkle it with some dried oregano. This one's going to be kind of like a traditional pizza margherita. For the second style, I'm going to add in some strips of red bell pepper, some strips of green bell pepper, and some thinly sliced black olives. For our third style, I'm going to add in some thinly sliced mushrooms, And for the fourth and final style, I'm gonna add in a slice of fresh tomato and season it with some dried oregano and dried parsley. I'm gonna add in a kiss of extra virgin olive oil over the pizzas that have vegetables on them. This is gonna give them an incredible flavor once they're cooked. And a kiss of sea salt and freshly cracked black pepper. And I'm gonna add in our baguette pizzas into a preheated oven, bake and broil option. That's the bottom heat and the top heat, 210 degrees Celsius, which is about 425 degrees Fahrenheit. If your oven can do both functions at the same time, just bake them for the exact same amount of time and add them to the broiler between 2 to 3 minutes. After 11 to 12 minutes, these baguette pizzas should be ready to go with that cheese perfectly melted. I'm gonna take them out of the oven and check it out, our baguette pizzas are done. How easy was it to put these together? But more importantly, look how beautiful they turned out. The secret here is gonna be that beautiful crispy texture on the outside of those baguettes. Let's give these a try and see how they turned out. Moment of truth. Let's see how these taste. Here we go. I love pizza. So good. The main thing here is that we used a baguette instead of pizza dough. It makes it so much easier. You dig up that soft bread so you get that beautiful crispy texture, and also allows you to add more sauce and cheese in there. This is a base foundation. You can add whatever toppings you want, but you saw this so easy to make, done in under 30 minutes. Forget delivery pizza or store-bought pizza. This is so much better and so much healthier. Really quick before I go, a shout out to one of my patrons, Terry K. Clean. Once again, Terry, thank you so much for being a patron of Spain on a Fork. You know how much I appreciate you. For the rest of you, if you're not with me on Patreon, consider becoming one. It helps me with ingredients and equipment to continue making videos like this. You'll find my Patreon link in the description box below and iCard above. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button. Leave me a comment below, and if you're not subscribed, smash that subscribe button. Till the next time, hasta luego. All right, that's a wrap, folks. This is just absolutely so good. Pizza! Love you.